Yeah, sorry if I'm being a little bit formal because it's a very, very condensed version. And if we have a computer in front of us, let's do it.
Whenever you need to pause or whatnot.
Yes, no problem.
You want me to put it on 1.5 speed or something?
Uh, not. I'll let you know when to speed up because sometimes mistakes are made in the early game that you don't even realize, like the pylon the last time.
Need 'em, probably.
Uh, okay, so before we start, tell me like what build did you intend to go for before you even started?
It was okay. I intended to go for just a normal. I wasn't intending to go Blink Stalker. It was just a very normal macro.
Okay.
Generally, was trying to just go for the Death Ball build.
Okay, so what were the composition? What was the composition you intended to go for the death ball? Because you know the death ball has several different variants.
For me, the only variant I'm familiar with was just the Stalker, Immortal, and Colossus, with some Zealots here and there.
Okay.
I think I actually tried to go for a. Oh, okay. I remember. I actually
Yep.
went for a proxy. You'll see in a very short while what proc number
That's.
7 is gonna do.
I'm watching this guy going out. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is why
Completely forgot about the proxy idea.
I do like you're at least attempting this. This is part and parcel of StarCraft, even though some people decry it, normally because they lose to this quote unquote bullshit. But hey, whatever wins you the game, right?
Serious, proxy is not considered what to say, like it's frowned upon. I thought cannon rushes.
People tend to frown upon anything that is quote outside the stock standard because most people don't know how to hold it or know
So the
how to
stock
deal with
standard
it.
is so boring.
Or you could go very far with stock standard, my friend. Okay, but that's beside the point. Something I would like to point out, and this is why there was no need to speed up the game. I asked you what's the death ball composition. You told me Zealot, Stalker, Immortal, Colossus, correct? Correct?
Yep.
Okay, I can tell you right now you're missing one extraordinarily important piece. Do you know what it is? That death ball is missing one insanely important piece.
Observer and warp prism.
Ah, the warp prism. You need, like Protoss, you need to have that warp prism in your death ball because that's how you warp in. Uh, I mean, right now, I think overall is okay. Looking at your general macro build, your pro production is good enough. Let's go to all vision. You did get warp gate on time, which is great. Zealots, yeah, you can build zealots. It's not too big an issue. Oh, you're going proxy robo, eh? What gave you the idea to do this proxy out of curiosity?
I think it was one of either Haas's games
Oh.
or it was Nest. I forgot.
Oh, you watched Haas's game, okay.
A couple of Haas's game. I think it's my new like build for Protoss.
Oh, you watched Haas's game. Okay, okay. Haas is a legend to us all.
Oh yeah, right now I'm going for a couple of stalkers because simply I don't have any gas, so I thought I might try just spend some resources.
Okay, I see you've been watching
They're
those
pretty useless though.
Yeah, I think you've been okay. It's good you've been watching those StarCraft videos and telling you, oh, you should spend your money because it's true. Um, okay, so a suggestion I have right off a macro build is okay, think about it. Rather than like queuing up 2 adepts and making a stalker, you could have just built another gateway. Because when the gateway transforms, you're gonna have a lot more production. Like
True.
there is a very common build where you go like 2 gateways and then cybercore and then expand. Although in Protoss meta, what do you make? You make it a bottle out of the proxy robo. Okay. By the way, something that I'd like to point out. Okay, this is slightly more higher level, But even while your second base is building, you should be continuing probe production.
Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah,
Now I'm starting it.
yeah, which is good. I hope you got your hotkeys because the relay I'm watching doesn't show me your hotkeys. I'm using a slightly different relay, a slightly
But
different.
people usually use the chrono boost quite often in the early game.
Yes, and this is a question, right? Like, do people use chrono boost?
Yep.
Yeah. That's weird. Oh, that is so cool. I didn't know that. Okay, there. Yeah, so people tend to try and use chrono boost, but it depends on what you want to do. Like, as you'll see, in fact, as you'll see later, I'll actually save my chrono boosters to use on the Stargate. Sometimes they
I
save their
see.
chrono. In PvP, it's very often to have two gateways, and you immediately chrono out two adepts as fast as you can to try and get that early game damage. However, just using it on probes is perfectly acceptable. Perfectly acceptable. Okay, very good. You've gotten a warp prism. This is a market improvement over the last game, I gotta say. Because I remember the last game you didn't build a warp prism at all.
Oh, this is crucial. Wait, let me pause it. Okay.
Yeah,
If you saw the probe that just died
yes,
over here,
yes,
okay, this was when I saw that they have bio
yeah,
in the composition, and
yes.
you'll see me actually making Colossus like in the next few minutes.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So that probe's death was avenged well.
Yes, yes, it was. Um, yeah, I do personally think it's worth losing a single probe in order to get that kind of scouting done. As a suggestion, you could have used an adept and shade it, and you wouldn't have to lose the adept because you can cancel the shade.
True. Oh yeah, how do you cancel the shit?
Press escape. Escape is what cancels the shade.
So I don't think in your edit video you actually set the button to cancel shit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point indeed. Okay, I like this warp prism. I like this warp in. It's slightly more aggressive play, which I think is good, rather than just sitting back and doing nothing. Uh, you said you're getting. Okay, your zealots all died, but at least it's delaying the enemy army. This fight is actually okay. I see you are microing several things at a time. You realize now how difficult warp prism micro can actually be.
Yeah, extremely.
Oh man, so when I see the pros do it, I'm like, wow.
With such grace.
It's what we all aspire to be and will probably never reach. Okay, by the way, here's something important I should tell you, which I honestly haven't. Um, you asked me previously why my warp-ins were a lot faster. There's actually a reason for this. If a pylon is connected to a gateway, like here for example, your warp-ins will be significantly faster as opposed to a pylon that's not connected to a gateway.
Oh.
So that's a real thing. So if you're gonna proxy pylon like this, normally I would just throw down a gateway because why not? The other exception is that if your pylon is connected to a nexus, it's also a fast warp in. And the third exception is that if it's from a warp prism like the field, those warp ins are also faster. So now that you're
Okay,
getting
can you repeat the last one?
yeah, so the three ways to get fast warp in is that a pylon is connected to a gateway, a pylon is connected to a nexus, or it's the power field of a warp prism.
Oh, what
Everything
prism is also
else,
faster.
yeah. So this is something I think is important. Your probe production has stopped, even though you're taking a third base, which is good. Um, so here comes the biggest mistake people make. You notice your mining your main base is way oversaturated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some of like the smaller things that you might want to fix. Because getting like even though you have a good worker count, it's not properly spread, and the amount of money you're earning is almost as if you're on one base.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I do have a question.
go
What's
ahead.
the difference between having three probes in 2 assimilators, which means 6 probes in total, or 6 probes in 1 assimilator. Is there a difference in gas production?
Yes. Okay, so here's
Really?
how. Yes. Okay, so now to talk about slightly more advanced economic situations. Okay, so let me talk about gas first. The maximum amount of gas a worker can mine from a single assimilator is always 3.
Okay.
Here's why. Because even if you put, let's say, 20 probes on an assimilator, only one of them will enter the building at a time, which means that the other 19 are waiting outside the assimilator to go in one by one. However, if you have
Is this the same for minerals?
so here's the complicated part, because that answer is honestly no. Okay, you're transferring probes now, which is good. You're getting upgrades. This is awesome. Or at least you built forges. At least you built forges. I'm happy. I'm happy. You're doing good. Okay, so to come back to minerals, the short answer is no. Minerals, it gets a little bit more complicated because okay, somebody did the math. 16, 16 as you see here is the maximum efficient number of workers that you get. Which means
Okay.
that every probe you add on from 1 to 16 will mine you more minerals than the last. And once you hit, okay, but here's the complicated part. Once you hit 16, you will then start to have something called diminishing returns. Do you know
Okay.
what that is?
It has less returns than if you put the probe on another patch, but I don't know why.
Okay, because that probe will lose time like mining. Like if you look at your main base, here's an example. You see a lot of probes are jumping to and fro looking for good patches.
Which one?
If you look at your main base, which is currently over mining, yeah, you see a lot of probes are like transferring between like middle patches, like trying to find a good spot to mine.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so that's less efficient. But here's the catch. In a in a fully saturated main base, somebody did the math and they calculated that the total number you can have that is still mining more is 26.
Oh, it's
Yes.
diminishing returns lah. That
Yeah,
means you just
it's
have it's not as good.
yeah, it's not as efficient, but it's still more. But once you reach I think 27, you're no longer you can't mine any faster than that.
Oh.
Which is why it makes more sense if you're, let's say, building your next base, you go over, let's say you go to 20 or even 22 workers, but once your next base finishes, you transfer the remaining amount. That is how you stay as economically ahead as possible.
I see.
Now, something I would also... Okay, so here comes an attack. Let's see how you deal with it. I like that you got Colossus. Did you get Thermal Lance? No, you didn't. I think you got this. Oh, wait, your Colossus aren't fighting. Okay, nice. You got this. Where you going?
Honestly, didn't see the tank the first time.
It's okay. Stuff like that happens. Okay, you're getting some good warp-ins. See, so here's an example. This pylon is connected to the Nexus, so these guys, these stalkers were warped in a lot faster than previously.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, you're making immortals, which is good. Okay, something I'd like to point out. This Sim City, if you might hear locals say it like that, is not exactly ideal
Mhm.
because
What do you mean?
okay, this is more towards actual online games because think about it. Let's say somebody does a drop from the bottom here. Very possible in TVP. Your army has to
Mhm.
navigate your own buildings in order to get to the middle line to defend.
Ah,
That
I
being
see.
that being said, there are situations where you want to have your buildings clustered up like this when you're fighting against Zerg. Because you want to try and make it as hard as possible for Zerglings to get into your base. So it kind of depends on matchup. By the way, your natural is also now massively... Here's a good example. You notice the number of probes that are just like waiting over at middle patches and transferring around kind of aimlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you talk about like efficiency, but I still think you're doing okay. You've gotten good army supply. Okay, so what was your plan at this point?
The
Death ball. Yeah, it's a pretty good death ball. Oh, you loaded your Colossus inside the warp prism. Okay.
Wow, it is very fast from the warp prism.
Yep. They've wanted to nerf that, but they haven't. So, you have a lot of robotics facilities. You built the Twilight Council. Oh, you're getting Blink. Okay, that's good. Um, is it fair to say you completely forgot upgrades?
Yep.
It happens. I forget upgrades all the time too. Okay, so what was your plan now?
I think this was going to be the death push.
Okay.
This is quite entertaining to watch. You'll see why in a bit.
I also see you have no observer.
I think the one that had died. Okay, as you can see, my death ball kind of like almost met up with their death ball, but we didn't see each other.
Oh, that happens all the time. You see this all the time in pro games, don't you? Like the two armies just like completely bypass each
Oh,
other
yeah.
like some yin yang.
My god, in pro games, they can actually miss each other by just a few pixels. That's insane.
And the casters lose their minds because
Players have no idea. Oh, now I'm getting upgrades. Cool.
yeah, now you're getting upgrades, which is a bit late, but it's still good. Okay. I think your brain must
Both
have
death balls have pushed.
I think your brain must have been going to overdrive because you realize you're getting attacked, but you also need to manage your own attack.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice, you're moving the Colossus back, I like that. Away from the missile turret.
Yeah, so this one was just me microing everything. I don't think I'm doing a single thing back at home.
Yeah. It's not a bad decision. By the way, next time when you start your upgrades, chrono them immediately.
Ah, right.
If not, this happens to me too, you're gonna forget. It's better to spend that chrono energy on the upgrade immediately, like once it starts, then you don't have to think about it.
True.
Wow, okay, so you're in a base trade situation. But by the way, pause the video for a second. Okay, something I'd like to point out. Do you see this pylon over here? Specifically,
Yep.
this is what we call an Artosis pylon, because if these tanks blow it up, you immediately lose 3 gateways. Long story short, when playing Protoss, try to make sure that each building, especially when you have this number of minerals, have other pylons backing them up.
Ooh, okay. What's Artosis?
Okay, good, I get to tell this story. Okay, so basically there was this pro player long ago who, in a pro game, playing Protoss. So a Terran did a drop, it killed a pylon. That pylon was powering 4 tech buildings.
Oh shit.
And that player GG'd 10 seconds later, like he lost.
Yeah.
More importantly, that player later went on to become one of the top commentators. So every time, so here's the thing. So every time you have a single pylon powering like multiple buildings like you have down here, it's called an Artosis pylon. Because if that thing gets knocked out, you lose 3-4 tech structures immediately. So what we say in Starcraft is that if you have an Artosis pylon, you must always have a tasteless pylon, that's the name of the co-caster, to back it up. And even in this day and age, we still see Artosis pylons like knocking out 4-5 buildings. And I'm not talking about a situation where like 4 pylons have been knocked out and then the 5th one falls and everything's unpowered. We're talking about one pylon that had like 4-5 tech structures surrounding it and no backup pylon was built.
Wow.
So yeah, if this went offline, you suddenly lose like 3 warp pins immediately.
True.
So small things to take note of. Okay, but we can resume. I think you're doing okay. You're destroying Terran's main base. You're not warping in, right?
Where is my warp prism? Let me see.
That's a good question. Where is that damn thing?
I think it died.
No, it's alive. Press U.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. U tells you the number of units you have. D tells you the production. The other important one is G, which tells you the upgrades. Oh, you got... Oh, 1-1 actually finished. That's good. Okay, not bad. Base trade situation. Okay,
Did you
so
get thermal lens? Let me see.
no,
Oh, I never got it. Damn.
nope. This is the kind of things you learn in replay. Oh snap! This is a tough situation. Uh,
Yeah, so this game was actually pretty interesting.
oh snap! Okay, okay. It's good that you're able to experience the base trade situation. Have you heard of those?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, learning how to play base trade is its own mini game.
Serious?
Oh, because shit gets weird in base trade. Like all of, like a lot of what you know about Starcraft changes once you go into base trade.
Oh. By the way, look at these poor probes over here.
They're all gonna die out there.
Oh, sadly, yeah.
I can't.
Oh, this.
Oh,
By the way, this probe was such an MVP. He was my last. He was my last available probe.
I, s- you know, I was gonna laugh when I saw that probe in the army earlier. I'm like, you clearly like hotkeyed wrongly. I'm like, wait a minute, you mean Prometheus is still alive?
Oh yes, he is.
It went into the main base, survived, and now is your actual lifeline.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit! I accidentally drafted this guy into my group one, and he's like carrying the entire game right now.
Yeah, because if that building wasn't going up, you would have lost it this second because the enemy would have destroyed all your buildings.
Oh yeah.
See,
So that probe was MVP.
oh my gosh, that's the most beautiful thing I've seen today in StarCraft. Okay, so you're still in the game. You are still in the game. See, so by the way, this is what I mean by base trade. The moment you know that you're going to full on base trade, you pull your probes and you run like hell from your main bases. Because
Ah.
because the games, I don't know if you see them, they're quite rare, but there are games where it comes down to like a single assimilator hiding out on the map.
Seriously? Damn.
Yes,
Oh, because there's no more probes, right? So you can never build anything anymore.
correct. So it comes down to how much money do you have banked up. Because if you don't have enough
Damn.
money to build a nexus, you're screwed. You can only build pylons and assimilators, and then you have to make a decision: do I want to build an assimilator which is cheaper, or do I want to build a pylon which has more flexibility? Then it
True.
gets very tricky. And for all races, there are lots of other things. Remember, Terran buildings can fly?
Oh my god. So if there's nothing that can attack, you're screwed lah.
No. This is the one condition. Oh my gosh, you split your army. Oh no! Oh no!
This is where I was like, oh dear, I made a mistake. You can see everybody just kablakan pusing and walking right.
Yeah. So here's the thing, you need to be so, see that's the thing, this is base trade, this is real base trade. You need to be so careful when splitting your army. Okay, but I think you got this. Oh, good blink forward. That was an excellent blink forward. Like you dodged all the
Thank
tank
you.
shots. That
Wait, did I? Shit. I missed it.
yeah, you could rewind a bit, but no, because you blinked forward, the stalkers were no longer clubbed with the immortal, so the stalkers did not take the tank shot. Oh
Oh.
man, when you saw this GG, you must have been a happy boy.
I was really happy. It was really an epic. It was a really fun game.
You beat the medium AI. You've gotten thy revenge.
In a base race, you can see me just destroying everything before taking his surrender. I mean, I had to.
Still counts. Damn, that was awesome.
I thought you might like this game.
I do. I like it a lot. Like you and your Prometheus, and you actually made it work.